as a church kid, a kid that was introduced to the gospel in a young age. He was a drummer from the church. A kid that put a smile on everybody, even myself. He tells me, Dad, I don't look like you, but I'm just like you. For the fact that I was the same way he was when I was younger. And I'm like, wow, seeing him in prison is like, wow. It just kills me for the fact that he had a plan. He wanted to go to college and reach his goals, and now it took a bad turn. Now he's stuck in prison right now.
Tell us what you think happened last Thursday.
What I think happened was him try to avoid that type of that incident by him try to grab the gun away from her. The gun must have slipped, or maybe he shot her to try to take it away from her. He shot her. That's what I'm hearing, and that's why he told me. It was a struggle with the gun. Like my
Let's
son,
back up for a moment. Was he living there, or did he go there that morning?
he lived there. He was a runaway before he turned 18. He wasn't living in my house for, I could say, 6 months, before the incident happened, and I kept telling the police station. I kept going to the police station for like 6, 7 times. It's a history about my son running away. If the mayor wants to hear this history with my son, that I was trying to prevent him from hanging around with the wrong crowd, from hanging around with people with guns and all that, because I knew I was a gang member. I was raised on the streets. I never had a dad. I the things that I've done for my kids right now is because I never had them before. Whatever they ask me for, I'll give it to them because I never had none of this. And I was trying to avoid my kids, prevent my kids to get there what I was at, because like we all say, I've been there and done it. You know what I'm saying? I've been there and done it. So I was trying to avoid them to get to that level of getting into danger in life.
He's living there. That you don't believe that was not his weapon.
I believe that was not his weapon. It's confirmed that it's not his weapon. It's somebody else's weapon.
Someone else's weapon.
Yes.
He has it. Didn't belong to him, and something ensued between the two of them. But we've also now learned she was 15, actually. The police confirmed for me on Saturday she was 15. She's 15, he's 18. There was no animosity between the two of them. He, if anything, potentially, they were acquaintances and he liked her.
They both liked each other. Yep. That's what she was there for in the first place, for him.
So,
cut in class to see him. Yes.
Take us through what was it like going to see him at the ACI?
I never got to see him at the ACI. I got to see him after the incident, and I brought him home.
Okay, at Central Falls.
At Central Falls, which is my house right now. I'm at right now, and
yep.
And he just told me about the incident, and I was like, you know what? You're not gonna run. You're not gonna run nowhere. We're gonna call the police, and you're gonna turn yourself in. Because if you run away, they're gonna think that you really commit a murder instead of an accident.
We haven't heard that. We have not heard that he actually, with your urging, turned himself in. They described it as this huge, massive manhunt, and they were able to locate him. I didn't know that.
I got the camera showing that my son went in the camera when he walked out without handcuff. He wasn't handcuffed, never. Sergio, he's a good cop, and I know him. Sergio could tell you, the detective Sergio could tell you how I called Sergio individually, and Sergio came over here and took him.
What are you hearing out there about your son that you want to clear up and let people know the truth?
I'm hearing that he's a murderer. I'm hearing that he did it on purpose. I'm hearing that my son should rot in prison. What I'm trying to tell everybody is that knowing my son, I would never even think about my son committing such thing like that, for the fact that he was loved out there. He was loved in my house. That he took a bad turn and got influenced by the wrong people. That was just on him. But other than that, my son is not a criminal murderer. He's not 100%. He's a kid that, like I said, he was introduced to the gospel. He knows he feels God. He will never commit murder because he knows he feels God.
I heard from sources of children that were there that he was saying that he didn't mean to do it. So it certainly, it comes off on his version that it was an accident. There's no reason to believe there wasn't animosity, it wasn't a robbery, it was anything like that. But I'm curious, Ways, what do you want to say to Talia's mom and her family?
That I could feel their pain in a way, not exactly for the fact that it's not my daughter or my niece, but I lost family in my life, and I could relate to the pain same way that girl died. My cousin died, and he was like a brother to me, and it was painful, and I just feel so sorry that it happened that way, and I wish it would never happen, for the fact that now it's a lost soul, and I lost life, and my son in there too. So right now I feel double pain in my life right now, and I feel so sorry for them that they have to go through that. But I also have to know that my son is in there regretting what he did as a mistake, and he's going through it as well. And I know they might not care about that right now, but at the same time, I care because that's my son as well.
Ways, finally, before I let you go, what did you tell Moses, or as you call him, Mo? What did you tell him? Like, what's your advice to him?
My advice to him is, which I already told him, it was to, like I said, I'm a believer, to ask God for forgiveness for that mistake that he committed, and that always, or even kids out there right now that might listen to this, when their parents talk to them, to please listen, because I know we are 100% right. We might be wrong in some area, but when it comes to giving an advice, I know we are right, and I want him to understand that the life that he chose, which is being out there, is not the right life. It's gonna cost. It's gonna bring a lot of consequences, like that type of consequences. And I promise that after this incident, let's say if he gets a break, he's a chance in life. I know that he's gonna change. He's probably changing right now. Right now, he's probably feeling it right now, because that's a place. That's a place that I was in there before, and it's not a good place to be in.
Folks, that is Ways. Ways, I give you a lot